userpeak.com. She started coding as a side project in 2019 on the back of a very successful consulting business, which she consults on growth. Userpeak.com is aimed at being an earlier, sort of further downstream product to user testing and user zoom. So lower pricing, but still same quality product, hoping to get pricing live here shortly. And their first customer, she's worked with 40 beta users so far, working on building out their user testing pool. So their pool of available testers for all the new projects from companies that sign up. Hey folks, my guest today is Tina Banerjee. She is a managing general partner of BrainPath.de and co-founder of UserPeak.com. She advises startups on growth. With UserPeak, she has founded a new company that aims to revolutionize the user testing space. Tina, you ready to take us to the top?
Absolutely. Thanks.
All right, user testing is tough. There was a multi-billion-dollar in the space recently with UserZoom and user testing and others. How do you build a wedge to steal market share from these folks?
We know user testing, we know UserZoom and all the competitors in the market, and we think that there needs another solution for small and medium-sized enterprises and for one only freelancers, because user testing you can only go into if you're a really big budget. So this is why we established UserPeak.
So what's the starting price? If your thesis is you're going to win because you're going to be better pricing for one man or one woman shops, you obviously have a deep understanding of current pricing in the market. So what is the starting point right now at your competitors, UserZoom, user testing, and where do you plan to launch pricing?
Well, you cannot really say with users testing, and I don't know what the new pricing will be for the new UserZoom user testing, but you cannot tell. It's like rumors, like in communities, that's a six-figure number, but you honestly cannot say because you're only in a sales funnel, and you need to tell exactly what you need, and the pricing is based on that exactly. But what we figured out from ourselves, from our own work, is that you actually want to have a pricing, a clear and transparent pricing, and that's what we offer, where you have like a subscription, and you can say, okay, just pay as you go package, just 10 user testings each, and then you're fine. Or you're like a researcher, product manager, marketer that really constantly and habit testing, so to say. You would probably take the subscription, which is good pricing for that.
Yep. You mentioned before the show that you're in stealth. That means you're pre-revenue today, right? No customers yet?
Right.
So this is a very, very detailed pricing page for somebody that has no customers to learn from. So what informed how you structure this current pricing page? I mean, you've got detail down to, AI speech to text transcripts, annotation and tagging, clips and highlight reels. I mean, how do you know these are things people care about if you don't have customers yet?
Well, first of all, we're using testing solutions ourselves the last 15 years in our own career, and we know exactly what we are actually looking for in user testing. So that's why we actually create the user testing solution. First of all, second of all, although in stealth mode, we're having better testers already. So we're in communication with various customers. We're testing, we're getting feedback. And of course, if you are providing a really good user testing solution, you need to provide also a tester panel. So a pool of at least a specific number of testers that you can actually serve customers to test on your platform. So this is what we're actually doing right now, aggregating a really very, very qualitative tester panel. And after that, if also everybody on the beta tester side is really satisfied, we're launching and going public.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your Founder Path dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right, so the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise, they sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of Founder Path, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. Tina, how do you convince, you're building this testing pool, how do you convince someone to sign up to test on UserPeak? You might say, hey, you can make $100 a month going through, flows that businesses submit to UserPeak, but they're going to then say, Tina, why should I dedicate time to this? You have no customers yet. So how do you solve the chicken and egg problem here?
Good question. Well, first of all, we say how much we pay our testers. So this is on the market as well, a very good salary in our opinion.
So what do you pay them?
Well, right now it's $10 per 20 minutes.
Okay. But you're not committing to that, right? They're not full-time employees of UserPeak.
No, they're actually testers and freelancers. So self-employed in this case, yes.
Mm-hmm. So when you say you're building a tester panel, I guess what does that mean? I mean, why are they? What are they signing, or what? How do you know they're committed? Isn't the best measurement for commitment to actually start get one job in the door and see how quickly your group of user testers deliver the test?
Well, everybody needs to apply. So they go through a testing sequence. They're manually one by one. Tested and viewed if they have the ability to be a good tester, first of all. Second of all, if we have customers and we're doing tests our own, they get a rating. Every customer is supposed to rate each video after providing or got provided from the testers. So there's going to be a quality review in this case as well. So the more good ratings the testers or the participants get, the more tests they will get. So they have, first of all, the need to deliver very good videos and very good feedback and various feedback. Second of all, we also provide guides, manuals, workshops to actually develop those testers to be more and more an expert. But you also see that there are different kinds of participants, so we need to focus on that as well.
Understood. When you mentioned you have beta users right now, how many have launched at least one beta sort of user test through the platform?
You mean as a customer?
You said that, quote, you have beta testers right now. What does that mean? What are they doing?
We're getting this moderated feedback going through the platform and asking, doing it for, I think, 30 to 40 beta testers right now. So we have a pretty good overview of what we can expect from the platform and what is still in question. Doesn't mean that it doesn't work, but it's meant that how we're going to prioritize on our coming up roadmap. Because I guess if people or customers want to get onto UserPeak and see, well, everything is great, cool pricing, cool service, cool everything, and trustworthy. And they don't know what they are going to expect from maybe previous solutions that they might use. So this is, on our opinion, and from the feedback the customers give, one of the
sorry, Tina, just to cut you off.
attributes.
Sorry, your genius is like, how do you get 30 to 40 very busy people to commit their time to you, to get on a Zoom and go through the platform and let you ask them questions, right? How do you do that? That's not easy.
Right, with good argumentation and sales pitch.
Well, that's what I'm asking for. What is the sales pitch? Pitch me to be one of your 30 to 40 beta testers. What would that sound like?
Well, we're actually asking if you're doing user testing right now. If they say yes, then we ask what
okay, yes,
kind of
Tina,
user testing
I'm doing user testing, and I'm trying to test my onboarding flow at founderpath.com.
Yes, and we'd say, have you which tool did you use to test it?
We're currently using a combination of really cheap labor on Fiverr, people that say that you do user testing, and we've tested an enterprise package at usertesting.com, but we don't want to pay that rate anymore.
Okay, then you probably won't use UserPeak because, or you haven't optimized it yet, the feedback, because there's still some problems we see on your database.
I'm not following you. My question is, I'm trying to teach the people listening right now, how do you as a new founder and stealth startup convince very busy people to spend time on Zoom with you to give you feedback on your pre-launch product?
Maybe I don't get your question. If you're a founder, you want to get feedback from your customers really easy and fast.
Yes,
and that's
I know,
what
but
we're
Tina,
offering.
how do you do that? You've convinced 40 people. You said you have 40 beta testers. How have you convinced 40 beta testers to give you their time knowing your pre-revenue pre-product? How do you convince them to do that?
Well, because of our network. So we have connections to founders and startup owners and enterprise product managers. And we have that before. So we're asking them directly on email, via phone, if first time we've started this new product and we would like to have your feedback, because I gave feedback before to them. We offered.
Okay, so it's network.
So it's network rate.
All right. When did you write we're running out of time here, so quick questions here. When did you guys launch? When did you write the first line of code?
Would be 2019.
Tina, how have you started this 4 years ago and you're still pre-revenue? What is taking so long to get customers?
Because it's a side project. It started as a side project and it's also Bootstrapped. So we're dealt with a time in between the pandemic and the Ukrainian crisis. So this all comes together.
How does the Ukrainian crisis affect you? Are your engineers there? Are you based there?
Yeah, the whole economic situation in Europe and probably in the US as well is a little different game right now. So everybody is like going back and doing no risk at all. So developers as well. So we try to find a solution for that. And that's maybe the situation one and another has also to deal with. That's what we did with.
Well, Tina, sorry, just to be clear, the whole world is going through all the problems that you just discussed right now. There are plenty of user testing tools that are driving sales. Just because you're bootstrapped and just because there's, like a war going on in macroeconomic conditions, that shouldn't be an excuse to not be able to like build the thing. But what's really happening here is you've got a very profitable side thing where you're doing advising and consulting, and it's not worth, you haven't given that up yet to go all in on UserPeak. That's sort of what I'm hearing.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So don't you have to pick one? I mean, isn't UserPeak going to continue to be sort of like this side project that sort of sits? I mean, don't you? I don't know what your personality is like, but shouldn't you cut all your safety nets and go all in on the startup?
I could, but I think the people we're working right now together is a more experienced one than me and myself and I. So I know that where my strengths are, and I think that dividing it into both ones is still enough. And right now, I cannot promise what the future brings, but it has really much potential. And yeah.
Okay. Well, Tina, we're out of time here. Let's wrap up with a famous five. One-word answers if you can. Number one, favorite book.
Thinking Fast and Slow, Daniel Kahneman.
Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
No.
Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building UserPeak besides your own?
Probably the Google Apps.
Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Oh, 7.
Okay. And what's your situation? Married, single, kiddos?
Not married.
Okay. And can I ask how old you are?
38.
Okay. Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20?
A little bit more courageous.
More courage. Guys, there have it. UserPeak.com. She started coding as a side project in 2019 on the back of a very successful consulting business, which she consults on growth. UserPeak.com is aimed at being an earlier, sort of further downstream product to UserTesting and UserZoom. So lower pricing, but still same quality product. Hoping to get pricing live here shortly. And their first customer, she's worked with 40 beta users so far, working on building out their user testing pool. So their pool of available testers for all the new projects from companies that sign up. Tina, we're rooting for you. Thanks for taking us to the top.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.